let's imagine a scenario, right? You like caffeine, you like coffee, and you drink coffee every single day, morning and night, excuse me. You can't do anything before you drink your cup of coffee, but you're like, coffee's like kind of expensive. How can I get this for cheaper? And you're like, okay, why don't I invest in a coffee machine? And you might be wondering, how can I drink coffee if I don't know how to make some coffee? That's why I'm here. Let me proudly introduce myself. Coffee master, established barista in the industry. Been in the industry for years. Amazing portfolio. See that picture right there? Oh, there's this picture right here as well. Oh, that's right. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Andrew. Today, I'm going to absolutely body you with immense coffee knowledge that you never knew. And at the end of the day, you will be able to make your own cup of joe in a matter of a flick of a switch. All right, so you're gonna have to turn your coffee machine on. I think that's like the pretty obvious first step. So if you have a Breville machine, I think it's this button right here. It says power. Yeah, you're gonna have to press that button. Right, so let me basically just explain to you this in the simplest possible way, all right? The power button, how much you want grinded out, basically what grind comes out of this little area, this region over here. Filter size, you know, if you do the single, it's gonna only grind out like a single amount. And if you do double, it's gonna grind a double amount, right? And then you got, over here, you got your pressure meter, which is basically, this is the nice range you want over here. If you get your shot to that area, that's how your shot is good. The program button, right? This is what I always press. I don't care if I've already calibrated it, or I don't care if I've already kind of established how many minutes or seconds I want in my shot. I still just press program every single time because I want to. Then you have your single cup and double cup, or single shot or double shot, whatever. I never press this button. Okay, I think that's like pretty much what you use. Every single store has their own buttons to press. In this household and store, we only press this button. Okay, we completely disregard this button. This button doesn't even exist to me. I can't even see what this button is. What is this? I don't see anything. Okay, I only press this button. Okay, so and then you have the clean and the hot water steamer, which is this basically will be if you turn your steamer on, and this will light up if you have to clean or descale your coffee machine, right? Now, all right, in this beautiful cup right here, I've measured 18, that's Hazel. She's also a well-established, very popular and in-demand barista in the industry. I'd argue she has more knowledge about coffee and the science behind all of it, okay? The only thing I have over her is experience, but she probably knows everything else more than I do, but you know, Hazel knows all the science behind it. She could tell you how long a shot is supposed to take. Can you please explain to them how, like, the ratios and stuff like that, and how, like, the longer the shot, how long it is? Like, she's better at this than I am. She can tell you this part.
Basic ratio is 1:2. I forgot how to describe it. 1:2 of coffee ground to yield. Yield is the amount of espresso that comes out. So if you use 18 grams of coffee ground, you should, in general, should go for 36 milliliters of espresso as an output.
How long? No. If the shot takes too long, what happens to the flavor?
It gets a little more bold, more bitter, and the body gets a little thicker.
And what if it's too short?
Gets more acidic, the body gets a little thinner. Yeah.
And what's the best amount of time? In our opinion.
20 to 30 seconds. I would say 25 to 30 seconds.
Facts.
You could go a little bit more than 30.
That's
Depends
right.
on the beans.
You can do whatever you want. See, her. I would have never been able to explain any of that. I would have told you if the shot takes too long, it's not good. If it takes too short, it's not good either. Okay, that's what I would have told you. I'm trials and tribulations first before I study stuff. Okay, that's what I do. Okay? Anyways, I have 18 grams in here. You can just throw this in the coffee grinder, okay? This is the most simple tutorial on YouTube. I don't think you could get much simpler than this, okay? 18 grams in here, right? I've already measured it. Now I can show you how to measure it again if you need me to, of course. However, I've already pre-measured it just because I want it to look tidy. But basically, you know what? I could just remeasure it for you. Let's take this lid off the grinder, for example, and you put it down onto your scale. Turn the on button. Embarrass me for a sec. There you go. Turn the on button for a sec. 18 grams. There you go. 18.4. You could go a little bit. It's not really a big deal, but you know what? For the sake of the video. There you go. 18 grams on the dot, okay? There you go. 18 grams exactly. Okay. Now, what you're gonna do is these coffee beans into your, now this is what we call a hopper in the coffee industry, okay? I've been around the block. I've been around, all right? I know. Coffee beans in. Oh, I haven't explained to them grind sizes and stuff. In coffee making, you're never gonna ever find a completely consistent day of coffee, okay? Once in the morning, you could like figure it out and be like, oh yeah, I've got the perfect measurements. I'm definitely gonna use this for the exact thing. I'm gonna use this exact measurement for the whole day and it's never gonna change. It's gonna stay like that forever. No. It's about trials and tribulations, okay? You couldn't imagine the amount of horror I've had to go through just to figure out the measurements, the grind size, and how heavy you'd want your coffee, okay? But that's part of the process, baby. You have to understand making coffee is gonna be a lot of waste, a lot of coffee bean waste, a lot of grind waste, a lot of milk waste. It's just how it is. The industry's really bad, honestly. You're gonna waste a lot of stuff. Now that was a bit dark, got a little bit deep there, but what I'm trying to say is you're never gonna make the exact same cup of coffee twice. I can make someone a cup of coffee a minute different, and it both taste completely different. They'd have like different flavor notes, different like, it's just never gonna taste the same. And you know the why? And you wanna know why? That's the reason behind that? Because of grind size. All right? Come around here for a sec. I know it's like kind of vaguely visible. However, if you do take a little bit harder look, you could see kind of some numbers over there, and it says grind size over here, and it says fine or coarse right here. And the more you fiddle with it is how you will decide like how long your shots will take. The finer, okay, let me repeat that. The finer, the longer the shot will take. The more coarse it is, the like faster it'll go. To be honest with you, I always thought it was reversed because I don't know. I don't, trials and tribulations. I already told you guys, I've been around the block. But yes, fine equals longer, coarse equals faster. So you don't want your shot too fine, obviously, and you don't want your shot like too coarse because you'll just get like a really bad cup of joe. So yes, 20 to 30 seconds is your golden point. And even then, honestly, even if you get to that point, it's never guaranteed that the cup of coffee will taste good. So that's why the most important part of making coffee is actually tasting your cup of coffee, which is ironic because I'm not really the biggest fan of coffee. Now let's get to it. First step, this thing is called a portafilter, okay? Portafilter is your weapon of mass destruction. This is what will make you your cup of coffee. So you have to make sure it's clean, okay? Some idiot, I know, I used to work with some moron and he wouldn't throw the coffee pucks away after he used it. What a freaking idiot. Anyways, you see these little things over here? You're gonna wanna put that inside of the grinder. You just wanna, I forgot something. I didn't tear it first. So, like we did earlier with the coffee beans, I know we already pre-measured it. Honestly, I'm not really the biggest pre-measure guy. I usually just throw a bunch of the beans in there, but that's like a lot of waste, which is like, your coffee beans will never stay fresh if they stay in the hopper, no matter how close it is. I know a lot of cafes keep it in the hopper anyway, but I personally am not the biggest fan of that. But it's kind of ironic because I still just throw a bunch of beans inside. So you're gonna do the exact same thing as earlier, and you're gonna wanna put your portafilter onto the scale. And basically, you're gonna wanna measure how much it weighs beforehand. So it's 0 grams right now. I already tared it. I tared it again for you once. Bring your portafilter up into the grinder. Just push. Notice how I said single, because earlier, like I said before, if you do a double, it's just gonna do the entire like grind for you. I usually do single because I kind of want to like finally measure it. But there you go, you can press it again. If you hear that sound, that means the hopper is empty. Give your coffee bean or coffee grind a little bit of tap. That's not the amount I wanted, but oh, get a load of this. We have some coffee grind out of nowhere. Where'd that come from? You just put that in there. This is why I don't like pre-measuring stuff, because it's just never enough for some reason. So let me just grab a little bit of extra coffee bean. Also, you could do this as well. If it's not enough, you can just grab more coffee bean and just throw it in the hopper again. Find it out, tap it. Oh, look at that, it's 18. Oh, okay. So here, obviously you see it's kind of not level. If you do have like, I don't know, if you're bougie and you have like a freaking tool and stuff like that where you can just kind of turn this stuff around, what I do is I'd grab a fork and I just kind of like poke it in like that. You could do that. You could also grab like a toothpick if you'd like and just like over there. But for today, I'm kind of just gonna tap it around to level it out a little bit. And as you can see, it's a bit more level, but try not to make a mess because inevitably when you're making coffee, you're gonna make a mess. It's kind of like inevitable. So, tamper. This is also another essential tool because if you don't have a tamper, it's over for you. How are you gonna tamp your coffee? If you don't tamp your coffee, trust me from past experiences, it's not good. Your coffee machine can actually explode. It's never exploded on me, of course, but you know, it's dangerous. Now, tamper. You could get your wrists really messed up doing this. I think I have like some form of wrist injury from tamping alone. But I found out the best way is to hold your tamper like this at an angle, 3 angle like this. Basically just do that. Spin it around to level it out. And then I'm gonna just wanna push kind of gently. Bam. You don't want to spin it out too much, and you don't want to like push it too hard, too much either. And that, my friends, is a beautiful coffee puck. Now what you're going to want to do is put this inside, spin it around like so. Again, your scale is essential. You're going to need a scale for everything you for everything you do. You're going to put your thing down here. Now this is if you haven't like calibrated your shot for the day, but me, I always calibrate my shot every single time I make a cup of coffee. But now you're gonna wanna press the program button and you're gonna make sure you wanna tear your cup. If you forget to tear your cup, it's over for you. And you're gonna wanna start your timer, all right? 20 to 30 seconds is what we already told you guys. And 36 yield, okay? 36 milliliters of yield. You're gonna wanna press this button over here, and then 1, 2, 3. If this shot fails, I'm gonna cry. Look at that beautiful shot. I'm just gonna cry fast. You see that beautiful shot right there, guys? It's nice brown. You want that nice crema. You see, there's like 3 layers to a cup of coffee. Bam, bam. That's not 36% yield. A lot of coffees would actually have like an automatic grinder, which would measure it out for you. But obviously in this situation, I have to manually tear the portafilter. So in a fast environment, obviously you're gonna not like mess around. You can't really muck about, so. Station's clean. Ugh. Flatten it out. Clean it out. Coffee. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's what you want. You don't want your shot to just completely explode coming out. Pause. But that is kind of like exactly what you want. You kind of don't want it to just keep streaking, but you also don't want it to just keep flowing. That's where it's gonna stop it. And until the last drip. Perfect 30 seconds. Exactly 30 seconds. The complete difference of the shot. Look at that. Look at that. It's completely different, has a lot more crema on it. That's a beautiful shot right there. It's a lot more creamy looking. Bam. Let's get to the milk part. Now, let me show you the puck actually, after you pour a shot. Puck actually kind of matters when like you pour or like pull a shot, because if it's like wet, if it's like soggy and it's like not good looking, yeah, if it's loose and it just comes right off, that's not a good shot. This is kind of like what you'd want. It's nice in there. You can kind of see like the forms of the freaking water thingy. And you know, once you press it out, it comes right out. Now you're gonna want to clean your portafilter with water. Now it is pretty hot. Ow! No, I'm not gonna show you guys. I'm not gonna cancel that. Clean up your portafilter. Give it a good wipe. Clean the bottom of the filter. And that's your portafilter done for the day, honestly. You can take a break. You could put them wherever, but usually cafes would put it just inside of the shot press. Clean your area. And now we get to my favorite part. The frothing, steaming. What makes your cappuccino a cappuccino? What makes your latte a latte? Grab yourself a nice fresh milk that will do the job for you. You could use whatever, really. I know a lot of people have gripes about what coffee, like what milk you use. You could use whatever, honestly, after like using it a lot. It's kind of all just kind of the same outcome. Unless you use something that's really completely different to all the others, I don't really think it's that much of a difference, whatever milk you use. So yeah. Now, you have 3 weapons essentially, right? You have your portafilter, you have your scale, and now you have your jug. Without your jug, you can't steam your milk. Well, you could, but you just, no. This is another weapon of mass destruction right here. You need this weapon. And without it, it's kind of like a big mess. What I usually do for my milk frothing is, you see this little pelt over here? This little hilt? See that? That is where I'd usually fill my milk up to. Is it focusing? Can't focus. But yeah, this is like how much I'd fill it up to. So, did I just spill some? Like so. Just about that much. You see that? Just about that. I don't want it too much and I don't want it too less. And honestly, sometimes depending on like what cup you use, obviously the ratios differ. You don't use this amount for like a big, like espresso, like a big like Starbucks cup or something. Like obviously you're gonna need more. But anywho's, clean up your station. Breville machine, since it is a single boiler, you can't pull a shot and also steam your milk at the same time, so I have to wait for my shot to finish and then I can steam my milk. And in my opinion, that's the better way to go, because if you do steam your milk too early, it'll actually froth up way too much and it'll basically just form like that. I could show you later maybe, but I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather have a good, nice, frothy milk rather than a fresh sort of shot. I know that's kind of like beats the point, but for this machine specifically, you're gonna have to turn this button over here to the front, and you're gonna have to wait until this stops beeping. And you could really visibly see the water coming out of the spout, like super crazy. And you could kind of hear it as well. So we can wait for that to happen. Now you can hear it, you can see it, the water's going all the way out. But I personally wait for it to really just like completely just go crazy. And then, now, I'm gonna wait for the filter, for the froth to come around and in. Now you want that nice screeching sound when you first start. I know a lot of people say don't really put it at the top when you first start, but for me to get the turn, I do put it at the top a little bit more. And then you could just automatically hear the milk kind of going up, and now it's just starting to froth up. The key to getting a nice, silky smooth foam is by letting that boy swim and turn around and spin, okay? You want a nice spin on it. Now depending on what milk-based coffee drink you're making, kind of don't want it to hiss too much. Let's say you're making a latte, you don't want it to really hiss too much. And let's say you're making a cappuccino, you don't want it really like, let it completely just go down. So keep it spinning, spinning, and test out the sides. If it's too hot to hold, that means it's ready. It's getting pretty hot now, so I'm just gonna turn it down. Wait for it to go down, take it out. I give your steam wand a nice little wipe. You want this thing clean, obviously, so you don't want any germs on this. Do that. And you're gonna wanna spout it out a little bit so you don't have any like chunky little milk spouts inside. And now, look at that. You see the sides, it's coating the sides. See it spinning, no bubbles in there. It's glossy. You can't really see the gloss. I mean, you can kind of see it actually. There you go. That's perfect right there. For this, I'd more so call this for a cappuccino though, instead of like a latte, but we'll see when I'm pouring. That's really nice milk actually. All right, let's get to pouring, baby. Now, here we go. I hope all my years of practice have worked out. There you are. I present to you a viney looking heart. Muchas gracias. Hazel's gonna give the coffee a bit of a try, because if I drink coffee before eating anything, I actually collapse. I, for some reason, lose all my energy.
.7 out of 10.
Excellent, folks. You heard the girl herself. 8.7.
It's not acidic. It's not too bitter. So that means the shot came out pretty well. You want to aim for high sweetness, which basically means not bitter. Low bitter and good acidity, basically.
That's right. See, I could have never explained that to you guys. She knows all the signs. I don't. All right, so basically, we're at the end of the video now, and that's it, bro. Making coffee is hard, but also not really. The thing that fusses me out about coffee is like how nothing can ever stay the same. Nothing will ever stay the same, and it gripes me so much. Sometimes the shot could come out excellent, the next one could just be horrible, and I just do not understand. So I think, in my opinion, the most important part of all of it is obviously having a coffee machine, but The next thing is, to be honest with you, having a good scale. Having a good scale will really change the game for you, because the most minute details could actually completely just change your yield and stuff like that. So in my opinion, that is also a very important part of making a nice cup of coffee. But overall, that's really it. I mean, I could go into the finer details about how different flavor profiles, like how acidic your shots are supposed to be and stuff like that, but I did say this is the most dumbed down tutorial of all time. And honestly, that was really the simplest way I could put all of this, to be honest with you. This is how I view all of this. Really it, man. Hope this tutorial was useful. Subscribe to me, because I kind of want to make more tutorials this simple, to be honest. That was actually pretty easy. So yeah, subscribe. Like the video for more coffee.